that has met with an express accident, the Coromandel Express. 5 coaches derailed, and as we were saying, that all the teams, the state team, the railway team, that these teams have been rushed into the point, into that area. Now the update is it's from our Oriya team. It's coming, Anand. It's Shalimar Chennai Coromandel Express.
Okay.
Like it starts from Shalimar, a place in Bengal near to Calcutta. So it's a Shalimar Chennai Coromandel Express. And this is the thing which is got corrected, and this Shalimar Chennai Coromandel Express is a train. Its accident happened near Bahanagar station area near Soro, Balasore district. So Balasore district is a confirmed thing. Shalimar Chennai Coromandel Express is confirmed. 5 coaches have been derailed. Whether it is rammed into or not, that is still not confirmed. But what we are coming to know that entire relief effort has been shifted to this place. Local volunteers too are there. Some teams have also been shifted from Kookaburra.
Right. Right. Kamalika, thank you for that update. We'll come back to this story in just a bit. It's a tragedy that struck in this area, in the Soro-Balasore area. This is the train number 12481 that's now derailed. We are given to understand Shalimar Chennai Coromandel Express 12841. 12841. This is in the Bahanagar market area between Soro and Balasore in Balasore district. 4 bogies derailed, nearly 50 passengers reportedly injured. Quite a big mishap that's happened somewhere around 7 p.m. this evening. We'll come back to this story with more details as and when we get more updates. For the moment, moving on to a CNN News 18 exclusive. A massive NIA crackdown on an active ISIS module in India, and that too in the heart of our country in Madhya Pradesh. On the 9th of May, 16 people allegedly linked to the Hizb ut-Tahrir were arrested from Bhopal and in Hyderabad. And now on the 25th of May, 3 men allegedly linked to the ISIS were arrested. The 3 people who've been arrested, Syed Mamoor Ali, Muhammad Adil Khan and Muhammad Shahid. All 3 of them are currently in NIA custody. Now, intel sources are telling CNN News 18 that the arrested accused planned to target defense installations and other security establishment. The NIA has stated, while speaking to our investigations editor Manoj Gupta, he's got us these details, has stated that the arrested Adil Khan was on the agency's radar since the 22nd of August, and he and his aides were allegedly promoting ISIS propaganda through social media and also on-ground dawa programs. These people seem to be inspired, somewhere linked to Umar Nisar and the Voice of Hind. NIA and intel sources telling News 18 that the 3 men were influenced by the ideology of the ISIS and were driven by violent ideology of the ISIS. So they didn't have any particular hatred or bigotry driven. It was just that their ideology was driven by the ideology of ISIS, where they belonged, that believed that violence is the only way to establish the rule of the caliphate. The intel sources also say that the accused wanted to establish Islamic Caliphate. Agencies say the accused formed a group or used to do dars or discourse in Islam and started exploring more on the Caliphate. The intel source also revealing to CNN News 18 that the group planned to attack the Jabalpur Ordnance Factory. Intel source also revealing that apart from the Jabalpur Ordnance Factory, other security establishments like police stations were also on their radar. Sources further adding that the group wanted to fight from India to support the ISIS in Syria and Afghanistan. And 2 of the accused, Adil and Mamoor, had actually decided to go to Syria or Afghanistan and they were making plans about Hijrat too. Intel sources reveal that the handlers of these alleged ISIS operatives are operating out of Bangladesh and Afghanistan. So more and more the involvement of entities operating out of Bangladesh who are handling or radicalizing youth in India, this is coming to the fore increasingly, whether they are connected with the Al-Qaeda or the Ansar Ghazwatul Hind, or in this case with the ISIS. Intel sources also revealing that the groups came into the radar after their connection with Umar Nisar of Voice of Hind. Now, this Voice of Hind group has been on the NIA's radar, and 3 men were tracked as these men via the same group. So, increasing footprint, Professor Rohan Gunaratne, Professor of Security Studies at the Nanyang Technological University in Singapore, joins us this evening. And we also have Nirmal Kaurji, former IPS. Namaste, and thank you very much for joining us here on the broadcast. Professor Gunaratne, if I may request you to sit a little straighter, facing the camera, please, rather than sideways. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And let me ask Nirmal Kaurji. Nirmal Kaurji, starting closer home, driven by the violent ISIS ideology, and they are actually engaging in radicalizing and trying to propagate the violent bent of ISIS. They had targeted installations, very, very young-looking accused, all 3 of them, who are now arrested.
So I think they are really radicalizing, they are radicalizing them very young, and they are radicalizing them very well. This identity, the Islamic identity as Ummah, identity as a fighter vis-a-vis the Kafirs, that is being strengthened so much by these ISIS modules and other people, that these people want to go and fight. See, such young-looking boys, maybe not even 18. They have been radicalized for years now. That means they must have started young when they started radicalizing them. And now they want to go and fight, and they also want to sabotage the Indian installations. So they are being radicalized, and they are also, that shows the influence they have, the far reaches and the kind of money that is coming and the kind of ideological this thing, because what they start teaching them in the madrasas, in the maktab madrasas, since the age of 3, 4, 5, kafir and us versus them. So that is, this radicalizing becomes so easy after that. Once you've extolled the virtues of that, medieval life, which the Quran dictates, then it's so easy to, to just print it there, because the alphabet already has been laid down. So they really can radicalize them young, and they are, now we see the effects. We see only tip of the iceberg. Otherwise, I think there are many more modules like this. Once in a while we see a success, and we see it in the media, busting it. But otherwise, I think the problem is much wider, much more endemic than we think it is.
So you believe that this is just perhaps the tip of the iceberg, or some random cases that are coming to the fore, but there are many other elements. But Professor Gunaratne, is this a worldwide phenomenon? Is this the modus operandi of the ISIS now, ever since their own core operations in Syria have been damaged and they were all forced to disperse or break away?
The epicenter of the Islamic State, or ISIS, has moved from Iraq and Syria in 2 directions. One is towards South Asia, and the other is towards Africa. The epicenter in South Asia is becoming stronger, especially after the Easter Sunday attack in Sri Lanka. We have seen similar attacks in India, in Bangladesh, in Pakistan, in the Maldives, and also in Afghanistan. The Indian government has been very capable in detecting and disrupting so many plots. But this is not the way forward. While you maintain a capability to detect and disrupt these plots, you also need to ensure that the religious space is not infiltrated. So the mainstream Islamic organizations, the mosques, the madrasas are being infiltrated. And for this, you need to develop capability to work with the Muslim institutions, the clerics, to ensure that Muslims understand that what Islamic State is preaching is not Islam, but is a political ideology, a violent ideology. So it is so important for the police and the investigative and the intelligence services to work with the Muslim clerical establishment in India, both to do community engagement and also to rehabilitate those who have been radicalized. You just putting them in prison is not going to help. You have to make sure that they transform and become good Indian citizens while they are in custody.
Well, this is something which also baffles me, that a lot of them are educated, not necessarily madrasa educated, and a lot of them have come into connect through their handlers using social media platforms, Professor Gunaratne. So,
social media is the main platform. So there is physical space radicalization and there is online radicalization. So online radicalization is the more dominant threat. Both are taking place. So you need what is called digital rehabilitation capability, digital community engagement capabilities. You need hundreds of specialists from the police, from the intelligence services, from other agencies that are constantly online, infiltrating, penetrating these organizations, and we arrest, we detain, we recruit those who are trying to infiltrate the Indian religious institutions. So it's a new type of fight, but it is something that you can do. You have some very bright, very smart police, investigative and intelligence officers who can do it.
But here is the question, Nirmal Kaurji. These people have been caught. They had an intent to commit something, but they can also get away because they have not committed anything.
That is true.
How do we punish radicalization or radicalized intent?
See, radicalized intent, they've been, I mean, a lot has been found with them, like arms or weapons and the material, you know, the propaganda material. So that can bring them in, that can, they can be punished. But more, I think much more important than punishment here is that we have to strengthen identities. You have to strengthen their identities, of all identities. All of us have to, our first identity has to be Indian. Whether we are from a madarsa, we are Muslim, we are Hindu, we are Jain, whatever. And you know, online radicalization is so much that recently I heard the case of a very rich boy in Ghaziabad, only about 13, who was going 5 times for doing namaz, hiding it from his family, because he was radicalized by someone while playing a game online. So the social media and online is the most potent method for radicalization and much more secretive. Like because physically your child is not missing, you don't even think that he's missing. He's perhaps playing a game or he's just, you know, engaging on the social media, which is so common and everyone does it. People are online all the time, even when they are sitting together.
Right.
That nobody suspects it. It gives them a lot of time, lot of influence. So I think monitoring our internet, policing the internet has become very important. And policing like this group, Bismillah. Groups like these, you know, the WhatsApp groups and other platforms like that, they should be monitored and something. I think what we have to have a program for nationalization as opposed to radicalization. So we have to strengthen every citizen's identity as an Indian. You know, Indian, because what they are doing is they are strengthening their identities as Muslims. You are a Muslim first and Indian later. If at all you are an Indian, it's much, much later. It is just, you know, that you are Allah ka banda and that they are all other kafirs. Either you convert them or you kill them. If you are unable to convert them, then you kill them to your way of life. It's not that we are there, you are also there. That kind of tolerance is not there at all in the religion, especially when, you know, these hardliners which radicalize children. Either you radicalize, you convert people, you radicalize them, you bring them to your way of thinking. And if that is not possible, you kill them. You see how we see so many, you know, violent deaths on the streets, even where the love angle is involved, so-called the love angle, because they pretend to love them, and if they don't fall in line, they are very brutally killed. This is kind of a thing, you know, that where disagreement is not tolerated at all, where diversity of opinion, where you know, your own viewpoint, your own identity, your own way of thinking is not tolerated at all. This kind of intolerance is there, and that can only come when to counter that, we have to have something larger, something bigger, a larger line as compared to the smaller line they are drawing. And that, I don't know, that, I mean, radicalization, the only way to fight radicalization is to have all pervasive, you know, a big campaign on nationalization. We have to be nationalized.
I think a lot of people have lamented this, that India first, this aspect of nationhood and one nation, one country and nation first needs to be underlined. But there's just some more input that I'd like to share, that while uncovering the ISIS threat, agencies and state anti-terror agencies are also struggling. And they are struggling to deal with the new changing face of terror in India. Agencies have discovered that most of the groups that have come into their radar have juveniles or under 18-year-olds, as Nirmal Kaurji was just pointing out. Intel sources reveal that these young minds are driven by violent ideology of ISIS, the violence ideology. Agencies also claim that the groups are highly radicalized. These youngsters in their teens are allegedly instilled with hatred against security forces and establishment. The youth are well trained to carry out major terror attack in which they can kill 15 to 20 people. So it will be close groups, but one dhamaka, maximum damage. And also their agencies are claiming that these groups are mostly in touch with Syria and Afghanistan based handlers. The source also telling CNN News 18 they have easy access to information available on explosives, making IEDs online. And then the cost of making these is also between 5 to 8,000 rupees. So low cost, high damage. Intel sources say central intelligence agencies are planning to call a conference of the state anti-terror handling units soon to address this problem. Quick word, Professor Gunaratne, if I may ask you this. Youngsters getting brainwashed.
The age of terrorism is becoming younger. Since 2015, we have seen children who are 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, the teenagers, they have become active. This is a new development, and it is because of the domination of the internet by these groups.
Ji.
So this requires a multi-pronged, multi-dimensional, multi-agency response. I would say that it is so important to train military, law enforcement, intelligence agencies in tackling this particular issue of the age of terrorism becoming younger. My colleague just mentioned that is the king of entertainment is gaming. They are using many gaming platforms, meaning we also have to have security and intelligence officers who are constantly policing.
Well, that is a big challenge, Professor Gunaratne. That's a big challenge, Professor Gunaratne and Nirmal Kaurji. I thank you very much for joining us on this exclusive news break. Have to move on for the moment because we are joined by Union Minister Gajendra Singh Shekhawat ji. Gajendra Shekhawat ji, namaste. Jai Hind. Thank you very much. Thank you. Jai Hind. 9 साल मोदी सरकार के and we've just seeing what's happening around us, increasing security challenges, internal security and societal challenges also. तो बहुत सारे ऐसे challenges हैं. I would like you to first start with how would you reflect in these 9 years, and you've been an integral part of some landmark movements that have been mooted under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
पिछले 9 साल सेवा के 9 साल है, सुशासन के 9 साल है, संकल्प को सिद्ध करने के 9 साल, गरीब कल्याण के 9 साल है और राष्ट्र उत्थान के 9 साल है। ये 9 साल गरीब के जीवन में परिवर्तन लाने के 9 साल है और राष्ट्र के सशक्तिकरण के 9 साल। ये 9 साल देश को आर्थिक दृष्टि से संपन्नता के रास्ते पर ले जाने के 9 साल भी हैं और कूटनीतिक दृष्टि से देश को सक्षम बनाने के 9 साल भी हैं। ये 9 साल देश को की सीमाओं को सुरक्षित करने के 9 साल भी हैं। तो दूसरी तरफ देश के इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को, चाहे वो बॉर्डर का इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर हो या इनलैंड इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर हो, इस सब को सुदृढ़ करने के 9 साल।
पर शेखावत जी, कर्नाटक के लोगों को तो नहीं लगा कि 9 साल में इतना सब कुछ किया गया है। मैंडेट देखिए, राजस्थान में भी कहा जा रहा है कि हवा दूसरी तरफ बह रही है। मध्य प्रदेश, छत्तीसगढ़, सब
मुझे लगता है कि जो लोग राजस्थान की हवा की चर्चा कर रहे हैं और अगर उनको दूसरी तरफ बहती हुई दिख रही है तो मुझे लगता है आपके समझने में कहीं फेर है। जहां अभी हवा है उसके दूसरी तरफ निश्चित रूप से बह रही है। कर्नाटक का प्रश्न है कि मैं फिर कहूंगा आपको कि हम जो चर्चा कर रहे हैं वो 2024 के चुनाव के परिप्रेक्ष्य में सरकार के 9 साल पूरे होने के परिप्रेक्ष्य में कर रहे हैं जी। 2018 में भी कर्नाटक में इसी तरह से उल्टी हवा बही थी, मध्य प्रदेश में भी बही थी, राजस्थान में भी बही थी, छत्तीसगढ़ में भी बही थी। लेकिन फिर भी 2019 में देश की जनता ने देश के कल्याण के लिए नरेंद्र मोदी जी को जो है देश का प्रधानमंत्री बनाने के लिए और अधिक बहुमत के साथ में जो है आशीर्वाद देकर के और प्रधानमंत्री बनने का अवसर प्रदान किया था। इसलिए कर्नाटक को आप 2024 का अगर बेंचमार्क मानते हो तो 2018 में भी यही परिस्थिति थी। जहां तक राजस्थान का प्रश्न है मित्र, मैं आपको एक बात जिम्मेदारी के साथ में कह रहा हूं, जिस तरह के राजस्थान के हालात हैं, सरकार जिस तरह से हर मोर्चे पर विफल हुई है और उस विफलता के चलते जिस तरह से सरकार की विफलता के चलते जिस तरह से राजस्थान में अब उनको रेवड़ियां बांटने के लिए मजबूर होना पड़ रहा है, लेकिन राजस्थान की जनता अब मानस बना चुकी है और ऐतिहासिक बहुमत के साथ में भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार बनने वाली है।
गजेंद्र शेखावत जी, मैं आनंद नरसिम्हन बोल रहा हूँ और मेरा अगला प्रश्न इसी
मैं आपकी आवाज पहचानता हूँ, मुझे शक्ल तो मैं ट्रेवल कर रहा हूँ नहीं दिख रही है आपकी, फिर भी आवाज से मैं पहचान सकता हूँ।
नहीं, धन्यवाद। मैं बस आपसे इतना जानना चाहता हूँ कि राहुल गांधी अभी यूएस में हैं, उनका ये कहना है कि जो भी आंकड़े सरकार गिना रही है वो सिर्फ नाम के वास्ते है, पैकेजिंग है, डिलीवरी ग्राउंड पे कुछ नहीं है। उनका ये कहना है भारत जोड़ो यात्रा में जब वो चल के गए, देश भर में भ्रमण किया, तो उन्होंने ग्राउंड पर जो देखा और जो सरकार क्लेम कर रही है, दोनों में बहुत जमीन आसमान का फर्क है।
चलिए मैं एक बात पूछना चाहता हूँ, राहुल गांधी जी कश्मीर से लेकर कन्याकुमारी से लेकर के कश्मीर तक पैदल चले थे। देश में जो शौचालय बनाने की स्थिति है, जिस पर सरकार ये कहती है कि हमने 100% लोगों के घर में शौचालय बनाने का काम किया है, मुझे लगता है कि शौचालय जिस गरीब महिला को ने बनाया है वो राहुल गांधी जी तक नहीं पहुंच पाई हो। जिन गांवों में राहुल गांधी जी का रास्ता किधर से गया था मुझे पता नहीं, जिन देश के 60% घरों में पीने का पानी पहुंच गया, जो पानी सर पे लाने के लिए मजबूर थी, उन महिलाओं से राहुल गांधी जी नहीं मिल पाए हो। जिस गरीब को घर मिला है, जो पहले कच्चे में सोने को मजबूर थी, उनके दादा नाना परनाना और उनकी माता और उनकी नानी और पिताजी के राज के होते हुए भी, और अदृश्य रूप से राज उनका और उनकी माताजी के हाथ में होते हुए भी, जो लोग खुले में सोने के लिए मजबूर थे, उनको घर मिला है, वो शायद राहुल गांधी जी को नहीं दिखे होंगे। देखिए मैं आपको एक बात कहना चाहता हूँ, ये जो गरीब के कल्याण और गरीब के जीवन में परिवर्तन जब आता है, वो ऐसे लोगों को जो सोने और चांदी का चम्मच लेकर के पैदा होते हैं, अपने आप को प्रिविलेज मानते हैं, युवराज मानते हैं, उन लोगों को वो विकास कभी विकास दिखाई नहीं देता। उनके विकास की परिभाषा उनके परिवार के विकास, उनके परिवार के पास में सत्ता की चाबी वो हो, तभी शायद उनको विकास दिखता है। गरीबों के जीवन में जो परिवर्तन आया, 80 करोड़ लोगों को जो राशन मिला, भारतीय जनता पार्टी नीति सरकारें नहीं, दूसरी सरकारों ने भी राशन बांटा होगा, शायद वो गरीब माताएं बहनें राहुल गांधी जी को नजर नहीं आई होंगी, शायद उनको बातचीत करने का उनसे अवसर नहीं मिला होगा। जिन गरीब महिलाओं के घर में गैस का चूल्हा आ गया है, वो भी शायद उनको नहीं मिले होंगे। ऐसा अनेक लोग जिनके जीवन को सरकार ने छुआ, जिनके सामर्थ्य को सरकार ने बढ़ाया, और शायद मुझे लगता है कि उन सारी सड़कों पे जब वो कन्याकुमारी से चल करके और कश्मीर तक पहुंचे होंगे, वो सारे हाईवे जिन पर वो चले होंगे, उनके निर्माण की तिथि उन्होंने नहीं पूछी होगी और उनको लगता होगा कि ये सब सड़कें पहले से इसी तरह की बनी हुई हैं। मुझे लगता है कि उनको अपनी दृष्टि चक्षु को खोल करके और देश की तरफ हालात पर देख करके, राजनीति का चश्मा उतार करके देखना पड़ेगा, तब जाकर के उनको देश में हुआ विकास और देश के गरीब आदमी के जीवन में आया हुआ परिवर्तन जो है उसका साक्षात्कार हो सकेगा।
उनका तो ये कहना है, और विपक्ष तो एक होता हुआ दिख रहा है। उनका कहना है विपक्ष को एक इसलिए होना पड़ रहा है क्योंकि बीजेपी सरकार विपक्ष को कुचलने की कोशिश कर रही है, उनकी यात्रा को भी रोकने की कोशिश की और विपक्ष के सभी नेताओं को प्रताड़ित करने का काम, एजेंसियों का दुरुपयोग। अब 2024 में ये परिस्थिति पार्लियामेंट में भी हमने देखा इनॉग्रेशन में कि ऑपोजिशन ने उसे बॉयकॉट किया, तो विपक्ष एक हो रहा है, भाजपा अकेला हो गया।
देखिए विपक्ष का एक होने का अगर आप विषय को देखते हैं तो 2018 में भी इसी तरह की स्थिति थी, इसी तरह से सब लोग एक होने का प्रयास कर रहे थे, लेकिन देश की जनता अपना भला और बुरा समझती है। देश की जनता अब जानती है, परिपक्व हो गई है, देश का मतदाता परिपक्व हुआ है, वो ये समझता है कि देश का हित कौन कर सकता है और किन लोगों ने देश को लूटा है और किन लोगों ने देश को बनाया है, ये डिफरेंशिएट देश की जनता कर सकती है। जहां तक जो है विपक्षी एकता से आगे उठ करके जो एजेंसीज के दुरुपयोग की उन्होंने चर्चा की जी, मुझे लगता है कि एक बार राहुल गांधी जी को राजस्थान की तरफ जरूर दृष्टि उठा करके देख लेना चाहिए। वहां जिस तरह से एजेंसीज का दुरुपयोग उनकी सरकार कर रही है, जिस तरह से लोगों के चरित्र हनन करने का प्रयास कर रही है, जिस तरह से भ्रष्टाचारियों को बचाने के लिए उनकी सरकार काम कर रही है, जिस तरह से मीडिया के लोगों पर आलोचना करने के लिए झूठे मुकदमे कर रही है, जिस तरह से उनकी पुलिस सोशल मीडिया पर एक पोस्ट लिख देने के कारण से सैकड़ों लोगों को जेल के सीखचों में, और पोस्ट में कोई आपत्तिजनक पोस्ट नहीं, किसी सरकार नेता के गलत काम को के लिए सिर्फ उसकी प्रतिक्रिया दे देने के मात्र के कारण से सैकड़ों लोगों को जो जेल भेज रही है। एजेंसी का दुरुपयोग की बात करना और भ्रष्टाचार की बात करना, बेरोजगारी की बात करना, मुझे लगता है कि राजस्थान की कांग्रेस सरकार के होते हुए कांग्रेस का लाइसेंस सीज हो रखा है। वो बोलने से उनका अधिकार नहीं है, नैतिक अधिकार भी वो उसके लिए पूछे।
पर कहीं ना कहीं आपको लगता है कि कांग्रेस अब थोड़ा उफान पे है, थोड़ा सा वापस ग्राउंड ट्रैक्शन पकड़ रहा है? कांग्रेस पार्टी को लगता है उनकी पॉपुलैरिटी बढ़ रही है, लोकप्रियता बढ़ रही है, विपक्ष का चेहरा कांग्रेस पार्टी ही है।
इस तरह की खुशफहमी जो है उनको 2018 में जब छत्तीसगढ़, मध्य प्रदेश और राजस्थान में कांग्रेस की सरकार बनी हुई थी, तब भी इस तरह की खुशफहमी उनको पैदा हुई थी। वो खुशफहमी उनको मुबारक है, अवश्य बनी रहे, लेकिन धरातल और हकीकत को वो नहीं समझेंगे तो उनका हश्र फिर वही होने वाला है।
11 करोड़ शौचालय की आपने बात की, अभी हर घर नल हर घर जल, ये ध्येय आपके ऊपर, आपके जल शक्ति मंत्रालय के ऊपर बहुत बड़ी चुनौती है, अलॉन्ग विथ सो मेनी अदर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज। पर यहाँ पर आप देख रहे हैं कि हर कोई फ्री बांटा जा रहा है सब कुछ, पानी फ्री, बिजली फ्री, घर के अंदर अगर कोई जो घर के मुखिया हैं उस महिला के लिए पैसा, जो बेरोजगार है उसको पैसा, यही सारे मैंडेट्स अब प्रॉमिस किए जा रहे हैं हर जगह।
नहीं, ये आवश्यकता क्यों पड़ती? जब सरकार विकास के पैमाने पर विफल हो जाती है, जब सरकार के ऊपर अन्य तरह के दोष लग जाते, जब सरकार डिलीवरी नहीं कर पाती, जब सरकार केंद्र की सरकार के योजनाओं का इम्प्लीमेंटेशन, अपनी घोषणाओं को धरातल पर नहीं उतार पाती, तब जाकर के मजबूरीवश इस तरह के इंसेंटिव्स देने, इस तरह की रेवड़ियां बांट करके सत्ता के कुर्सियों पर चिपके रहने के प्रयास किए जाते हैं। और ये बात जो बात हम बार बार कह रहे थे कि राजस्थान की सरकार डिलीवरी करने में फेल हुई है, अब एक बार फिर सत्ता के सिंहासन पर बैठने के लिए ऐसी अपनी घोषणाओं को बार बार रिपीट करके उन घोषणाओं को पूरा करने, उन घोषणाओं के माध्यम से जनता को भ्रमित करने और उनका वोट पाने की कोशिश सरकार कर रही है। मैं एक छोटा सा उदाहरण आपको देना चाहता हूँ। गहलोत साहब की सरकार ने एक घोषणा की है कि हम 500 रुपए में गैस का सिलेंडर देंगे। अब राजस्थान की जनता ये जानती है, राजस्थान के 7.5 करोड़ लोग ये जानते हैं कि राजस्थान में देश में सबसे ज्यादा महंगा डीजल और पेट्रोल बिकता है। राजस्थान के लोग ये भी जानते हैं कि हमारे पड़ोसी प्रदेश हरियाणा, हमारा पड़ोसी प्रदेश गुजरात, मध्य प्रदेश की तुलना में 10 रुपए लीटर पेट्रोल और 10 रुपए लीटर डीजल ज्यादा महंगा है। राजस्थान में 15 करोड़ लीटर डीजल हर महीने बिकता है, 45 करोड़ लीटर 15 करोड़ पेट्रोल बिकता है, 45 करोड़ लीटर डीजल हर महीने बिकता है। 60 करोड़ लीटर की सेल के अगेंस्ट में राजस्थान की जनता की जेब से 10 रुपए दूसरे राज्यों के से ज्यादा लूट करके 600 करोड़ रुपए हर महीने सरकार, अशोक गहलोत साहब अपनी जेब में डालते हैं। और उस 600 करोड़ रुपए को अगर आप 4.5 साल से मल्टीप्लाई करो, लगभग 27-28 हजार करोड़ रुपया राजस्थान की जनता से, राजस्थान के लोगों की जेब से निकालने का काम गहलोत साहब की सरकार ने किया। अब आप 27,000 करोड़ रुपए लूट करके उसके बाद राजस्थान की जनता को उज्ज्वला कनेक्शंस में जो सब्सिडी मोदी जी 200 रुपए दे रहे हैं, उस सब्सिडी से ऊपर 400 रुपए एडिशनल सब्सिडी देने के लिए उनको धूप में लाइन में खड़ा कर रहे हो। मोदी जी ने 200 रुपए की सब्सिडी दी तो किसी को पूछा नहीं था, किसी को डेटा कलेक्ट नहीं किया था। डेटा ऑलरेडी एग्जिस्ट करता है। बैंक को एक मैंडेट देने की आवश्यकता थी कि आज से फरवरी में घोषणा की थी बजट में, एक मार्च में बजट पास हुआ था। मार्च में बैंक को एक मैंडेट कर देते कि बैंक जो है आज से 450 रुपए जमा कराए, 450 रुपए जो है वो राजस्थान सरकार कंट्रीब्यूट करेगी, लोगों को 500 रुपए रिलीफ मिलती, वो नहीं करेंगे। उसके लिए घोषणा के लिए पहले घोषणा की, अप्रैल में हम कैंप लगाएंगे, मई में उसकी घोषणा की, मई और जून में हम राहत शिविर करेंगे, जून तक डेटा इकट्ठा करेंगे। जो डेटा आपके पास में एग्जिस्टिंग है उस डेटा को इकट्ठा करने की आवश्यकता क्या है? जुलाई में जाकर के हम सिलेंडर देना शुरू में ये सब्सिडी देना शुरू करेंगे, जो है हम सबवेंशन देना शुरू करेंगे। जुलाई अगस्त में 2 महीने तक देंगे, तब तक चुनाव आ जाएगा। और कुल मिलाकर के राजस्थान में जितने उज्ज्वला के कनेक्शन हैं, अगर सबको अगले 3 महीने सब्सिडी मिल भी जाती है तो कुल मिलाकर के 600 करोड़ रुपए का लाभ आप राजस्थान की जनता को दे रहे हो। 27,500 करोड़ रुपए लूट करके 600 रुपए दे करके आप राजस्थान की जनता को बेवकूफ बनाना चाहते हैं।
पर राजस्थान
की जनता को आप 2,000 रुपए किसानों को सब्सिडी देंगे घोषणा करते हो। किसानों को 850 रुपए महीने जो सब्सिडी मिल रही थी वसुंधरा जी की सरकार के समय से, उसको आप 2 साल तक बंद कर देते हो। हर किसान से 20,000 रुपए किसान का अपनी जेब में बचा करके रख लेते हो। और अब आप कहते हो कि हम उसका रजिस्ट्रेशन कर रहे हैं, जुलाई अगस्त सितंबर में बरसात हो जाएगी, बरसात की खेती में आवश्यकता नहीं पड़ेगी किसान को, अक्टूबर में जाकर के फसल कट जाएगी, नवंबर में किसान के पास में सोइंग के समय में शायद एक बार बिजली के बिल में आपको 2,000 रुपए 2,000 यूनिट दोगे। 20,000 रुपए किसान के जेब से निकाल करके और 5,000 रुपए का लाभ उसको दे करके आप क्या दिखाना चाहते हैं?
पर ये लेकिन ये तो इंस्टेंट बेनिफिट है ना शेखावत जी, इसीलिए तो कई बार वोटर अगर उसमें जीत गया।
देखिए राजस्थान का वोटर, राजस्थान का किसान कर्ज माफी के नाम का धोखा एक बार खा चुका है। राजस्थान का युवा बेरोजगारी भत्ते का धोखा खा चुका है। राजस्थान का युवा पेपर लीक के चलते हुए नौकरियां देंगे इसका धोखा खा चुका है। राजस्थान की महिलाएं कि हम सुरक्षा प्रदान करेंगे, राजस्थान को सबसे ज्यादा रेप होने वाले प्रदेश बनाने में कामयाब होकर के उनको धोखा राजस्थान की सरकार दे चुकी है। और राजस्थान के स्वाभिमानी लोग एक बार धोखा खा सकते हैं। हमारे यहाँ जो है कहावत होती है कि दूध का जला हुआ भी छाछ को भी फूंक करके पीता है जी। अब की बार, पिछली बार हमारा दूध से मुंह जल चुका है, अब की बार हम जो है छाछ से अपना फूंक करके पिएंगे, अपने बार नहीं जलाएंगे।
अंतिम प्रश्न है कि वहां पर कांग्रेस में 2 चेहरे हैं जो लड़ रहे हैं मुख्यमंत्री पद के लिए, बीजेपी में कौन है? बताया जा रहा है यहाँ 4-5 चेहरे शिरकत कर रहे हैं।
4-5 भी हो सकते हैं, उससे ज्यादा भी होंगे, ये मैं इसके विवाद में नहीं जाना चाहता। भारतीय जनता पार्टी में ये तय करने का अधिकार पार्लियामेंट्री बोर्ड का है। भारतीय जनता पार्टी का राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष जो हमारा सर्वाधिकारी है, उन्होंने, हमारे गृह मंत्री जी ने जो भारतीय जनता पार्टी के पूर्व राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष हैं, दोनों ने सार्वजनिक मंच पे खड़े होकर के कहा है कि माननीय नरेंद्र मोदी जी का चेहरा हमारा चेहरा है। माननीय नरेंद्र मोदी जी के चेहरे पे हम चुनाव लड़ेंगे और हम सौभाग्यशाली हैं कि हमारे पास में दुनिया का सबसे लोकप्रिय नेता हमारा चेहरे के रूप में हमारे पास में। और उसके बाद में पार्लियामेंट्री बोर्ड निश्चित करके जिसको जिम्मेदारी देगा वो उस जिम्मेदारी के साथ में काम करेगा और हम सब लोग मिल करके उस जिसको जिम्मेदारी दी जाती है, बाकी शेष बचे हुए सारे लोग मिलकर के उसकी सरकार यशस्वी बने और सफल बने, इसके लिए सब प्राण और
आप भी जुगत लगा रहे हैं।
मुझे लगता है कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी में जुगत लगाने की आवश्यकता नहीं होती। भारतीय जनता पार्टी में दायित्व लिए नहीं जाते, यहाँ जो है पद लिए नहीं जाते, यहाँ दायित्व दिए जाते। आपको जो जिम्मेदारी जिसको देंगे वो उसी जिम्मेदारी के साथ में, गंभीरता के साथ में, तन्मयता के साथ में काम करेगा और जहां भी काम करेगा। मैं तो जिस परिवार से आता हूं उस परिवार में आप किस क्षेत्र में काम करोगे ये भी तय करना आपकी जो है अधिकार नहीं जी। परिवार तय करता है, परिवार के बुजुर्ग तय करते हैं, मेंटर्स तय करते हैं। मैं छात्र संघ का अध्यक्ष था, वहां से उठा करके मुझे सामान्यतः लोग राजनीति में जाते हैं, मुझे सीमावर्ती क्षेत्र पे काम करने के लिए भेजा गया, मैंने 20 साल काम किया जी। फिर आकर के यहाँ पे कहा राजनीतिक क्षेत्र में काम करो। हो सकता है शायद आने वाले समय में परिवार के लोग कभी कहें कि तुम जाकर के किसी दूसरे क्षेत्र में वनवासियों के बीच में काम करो। मैं वहां भी उसी उत्साह से काम करूंगा, क्योंकि जहां भी काम करूंगा वहां मैं ये जानता हूं कि मैं देश के लिए काम कर रहा हूं, देश के निर्माण के लिए काम कर रहा हूं।
जैसा प्रधानमंत्री जी ने कहा, चरैवती चरैवती चरैवती, चलते रहो चलते रहो चलते रहो,
सब लोग चलते रहो, देश निर्माण के लिए चलते रहो, नए आदर्श स्थापित करके चलते
जी। शेखावत जी, आपसे जब भी बात करते हैं मजा आता है। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपके समय के लिए। आज भी समय कैसे निकल गया पता नहीं लगा। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
आनंद जी, मैं ट्रैवल कर रहा हूँ, रास्ते में रुक करके किसी कमरे में बैठ करके आपको आईपैड से बात कर रहा हूँ।
बहुत बहुत आभार।
होगी शायद ठीक ठाक आपकी फ्रेम नहीं बन रही होगी,
नहीं
लेकिन विकट परिस्थिति में भी आपने मुझे अकोमोडेट किया, मैं धन्यवाद।
नहीं, आपने हमें समय दिया उसके लिए आपका भी आभार। धन्यवाद। धन्यवाद सर। नमस्ते। Ladies and gentlemen, we've got to take a very short break, but a quick update coming in from Odisha, and let's just go back and revisit what further updates that we have. These are the pictures coming in, live pictures coming in of the rescue operations largely mounted by the locals there. You could see a lot of the villagers, a lot of the people in and around who have seen this crash that took place around 7 p.m. with the Coromandel Express, the Shalimar Chennai Coromandel Express derailing. Four bogies have derailed. 50 people have been injured in this train accident. 2 fire teams have been sent across from Bhadrak. They've been rushed. The DGP Fire Services, Dr. Sudhanshu Sarangi, has left the headquarters for the accident spot. Initial inputs are indicating a sideways collision. A sideways collision. Initial inputs are suggesting a sideways collision at this point. We'll try and get an update from Kamalika for more details. Hospital visuals also coming in from News18 Odia. We'll try and also speak with somebody from News18 Odia who is perhaps on the spot or who can get us more details on what's happened. This accident happening in the Balasore district between Soro and Balasore. Hospital visuals also coming in. I think it's a local district hospital where some of the passengers have been rushed to. Kamalika, any update on the number of passengers injured? Are there any casualties? 5 train bogies have derailed, we are given to understand.
See, what we are coming to know that near about 100 victims are there, because what we are getting that 100 victims have been transferred to Gopalpur CHS in Balasore DHH, which means that the number of injured are near about 100. And all the medical teams there are shifted from the Odisha headquarters and also from Kookaburra. I have spoken to the Southeast PRO of Southeast Railway PRO, Neeraj Kumar. He has told me that a lot of medical teams have been sent from Kookaburra and 10 injured, as we can see that Balasore Hospital, 10 injured have gone. And the railways have opened up helpline numbers. In Howrah, the helpline number is there. Kookaburra, Balasore, Shialdah, all these helpline numbers are there. If we could say for our viewers, the Howrah helpline number is 033-2638-2217. 033-2638-2217. Anand, because it's a Shalimar Coromandel Express expected. A lot of Bengalis, a lot of people, generally who goes through this line might have, might be there. So a lot of helplines have been opened up. That's what we are getting. Howrah Shalimar Express that has been derailed. 5 coaches have been derailed. This is a really very serious, very serious accident. That's what we are getting it. The ODRS team at Balasore that is also started from the Odisha headquarters. The collector of Balasore has also been directed. All efforts are going there, but definitely it's a big accident, and the victims are near about 100. That's what
the night, so it is going to cause some problems. We will try and get you more details. For the moment, taking a very, very short break. Stay with us.
For more, Nikhil is joining me live. Anshul is also tracking the story. Hopefully, he'll be with us in a bit. But Nikhil, a big setback, you would say?
Well, this was the Jan Mahachetna rally, which was supposed to organize on 5th of June in the city of Ayodhya, where Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh claimed that 11 lakh supporters are going together, including that of saints and seeds of Ayodhya as well. So this was the call which was given by Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh, and there at that particular place he was all set to put forth his point, which he has been doing since so long after the wrestlers made some of the serious allegations against him. But now this is the breaking piece of information where we have been given to understand that that particular rally which was being organized, it has been postponed for few days. And Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh, who is the member of parliament from the Kaisarganj seat of the Uttar Pradesh state from the Bharatiya Janata Party, he has announced it on the social media platform Facebook. He has informed that many of supporters were all set together, but because there is ongoing investigation which is currently happening from the side of the Delhi police, and the matter is also in the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court, because Supreme Court is the one who is directing all these things. The matter also reached out at the apex court. So in view of the same, for few days the rally is being postponed. So if we go by the further details, on other side there is this FIR as well, which is now out in the public domain, where 7 of the complainants filed serious complaint against Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh over the sexual allegation. And we have also, what we do know is that 2 of the FIRs were also filed, one in the case of POCSO Act as well. But now this is one of the big setback, and the reason for the same is being cited that the local administration did not allow the permission for the gathering of 11 lakh people, which was being claimed by Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh himself. So obviously it is one of the big setback, but it also brings some of the context as well, that there is something which is cooking inside in camp of Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh. On one side the FIR has been released, on the other side there is this Mahachetna rally as well, which is now postponed. So we need to see as to how the further developments are going to take place. But clearly now we need to see as to what Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh is going to further say. On the other side, if we talk about the developments which are happening from the side of the wrestlers as well, there were 5 days time which was sought by Naresh Tikait as to what would be the further course of action as far as the wrestlers protest is concerned, after the Delhi police denied the permission for the same to carry out the ongoing protest at the site of Jantar Mantar. So yesterday as well there was this Mahapanchayat which was organized in Muzaffarnagar. Today there is this huge Mahapanchayat as well, where tickets are going to participate, and the further course of action will be decided over the course of wrestlers protest as well. So
Nikhil, hold on. Nikhil, do hold on. Let me also bring in Anshul into the conversation. Anshul, on the face of it, it looks like that Brij Bhushan Singh has decided to postpone the rally. In his Facebook post, he says because the Supreme Court is monitoring it, there's a police investigation going on. But this was the fact even when the rally was, announced. What has really changed is the fact that world bodies like the International Wrestling Federation and the Indian International Olympic Association, they have issued statements. Could that be a factor as far as Brij Bhushan's rethink is concerned?
Well, definitely there is a lot of pressure on the government at this point in time, because the manner in which the wrestlers have carried out this entire movement, this entire protest, that has made a lot of headlines, and that has actually brought a lot of embarrassment to the government, especially after the incidents that happened on the 28th of May, where all these international champions were in fact dragged by the Delhi police and were thrown inside the jail. In fact, they were detained for more than 12 hours. So yes, there is a lot of controversy and criticism that is ongoing against the government, and hence somewhere or the other the government and the administration actually at this point wants that this entire investigation should be done in a free and fair manner, and hence the noise around it should be muted, and that could be one of the reasons why the rally that was supposed to be conducted by Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh with cheers who would have come out in his support, that has been taken down, because any sort of statements could have been made in that rally, and again that would have made headlines, and eventually that means that would have brought more questions to the administration and to the government. So this could be one of the reasons why this entire rally has now been postponed. So yes, the government is trying to make sure that this entire investigation happens in a free and fair manner. On the other hand, sources within the Delhi police have told us that they are in the last leg of the investigation, and over the next 10 to 15 days, we could expect some action from the Delhi police, where they could actually go ahead and file a charge sheet in this entire matter, or if at all the charges are not found, then a final report could also be filed in the court of law. However, status reports are continuously being filed in front of the Supreme Court at this point in time. So yes, the investigation is ongoing, but yes, the kind of noises that is being made, that could actually divert the attention from the investigation, and hence it has now been decided that the rally that was supposed to be held on the 5th of May in Ayodhya has now been postponed. So yes, it remains to be seen as to when will be the next date of rally come up, and as to how quickly will the Delhi police finally conclude investigation and file that charge sheet or the final report, whichever they deem it's necessary.
Right. Nikhil, this was meant to be a show of strength in support of Brij Bhushan Singh, isn't it? Have the wrestlers reacted when this rally was announced, and are they reacting now that the administration has decided to withdraw permission?
Well, this is the important question here, because after the incident which took place at the Har Ki Pauri Haridwar, 5 days time, as mentioned earlier as well, was sought by the Naresh Tiket as to what is going to be the further course of action from the wrestler side. But since that particular day, the wrestlers have gone incommunicado. They are not speaking to the media persons as well. In fact, we have spoken to a source who are part of that particular group. They have informed us that till the completion of the 5 days,
well, going back to the accident that's happened in between Balasore and Soro in Odisha, it's the Coromandel Express that's derailed, we are given to understand, after a sideways collision. Now, that's quite surprising if that is what has happened. There are more than 100 people who have been transferred to the nearby Gopalpur CHC and the Balasore District Hospital. That's what we're given to understand. 10 injured passengers are at the Balasore Medical College. Kamalika is getting us a lot of inputs. We'll try and connect with her. We'll also try and speak with some of the officials who are currently en route to get some of the updates. 60 ambulances have been mobilized. We are given to understand plenty of mobilization, because we are given to understand from the pictures, and now as the details are coming through, it's quite a big mishap that's happened. Now, if it is a sideways collision, that means it is possible that there are two trains moving in the same direction. And if that has happened, it's quite big. This is soon after, at around 7 p.m. the derailment has happened, because we are given to understand around 6:30 the train came towards Balasore. It halted there, and then thereafter it left soon after, and it's in the Balasore district between Soro and Balasore that this incident has happened, this train accident. 3 NDRF units for 4 ODRAF have also moved. That is the Odisha Rapid Action Force and Relief Force. They have also moved teams. There are teams which are also being sent, fire teams that have been sent from Badrak. The DGP Fire Services has also left the headquarters and the side collision. We'll try and go across to Kamalika for more details if she is with us on the phone line. Kamalika is joining us with more. Kamalika, what has happened? This is soon after the train left Balasore around 7 p.m. Is it a sideways collision, and how could that be?
So that's the big question, Anand, that how is that possible? It's a side collection, but whatever the reports are coming in, that this reports are saying the updates which are coming from the railways, these are showing that, this is a side collision. But how that is possible? That is a big question. Like, the railway statements that are coming up, that clearly shows that there is two trains are involved. Both the trains have got derailed. That is clear from the rail's message, as you can see. In 1855 hours, both this train, the SHM Coromandel Express, and also the other train, they were on the same route or not, that's a big question. And what we are getting, the helplines are opened up in various places, in Howrah, in Kookaburra, in Balasore, and all possible ODRF team has been moved there. And the minister, one of the Odisha revenue minister, he is also reaching the spot. All possible, like from ADRF team, ODRF team, to the local administration team, to the railways team, the medical team, 17 ambulances have gone. This is clear that near about 100 victims are there. So that is also a very big point.
Well, there is an update that's come in. I'm going to go across to Akash also with this. I think Tabir has also sent us from News18 Odisha, sending us this update where he's saying that through the train passed through around 1851 hours, and then it passed around at 1854 hours. At about 1900 hours, it got derailed at the Bahanaga station area. Meantime, 12864, that's another train, that is the SMVB Howrah Superfast Express, passed this area around 1849 hours, and the same in Babanagar arrived at 1855. It also got derailed. So two trains have gotten derailed, and there are other train movements also which have been affected. Akash, do we have any more details? More than 50 passengers injured, about 100 plus have been moved to nearby hospitals. Some visuals coming in from the hospitals of those who have had minor injuries, some with major injuries. Some of the visuals can be disturbing. We are just requesting our viewers to please exercise some caution as you're watching these visuals coming through. Yes, Akash.
So, Anand, one thing is very clear that there are two trains involved. The first one is Coromandel Express and the second one is this Howrah Superfast Express. Now we are learning that this can be a side collision, but given that timings are different, so it can be said that either it is a case of a signal overshooting or some sort of failure. But only an official confirmation will confirm and will ascertain as to what actually happened. But as of now, helpline numbers have been put out by the railways. Also, we are learning that senior officers, including DRM, ADRM, and also senior officers of RPF are reaching on spot. And, two trains, side collision can be one reason, but given that one train has derailed at around 19 hours, it means 7 p.m., and the second one at around 6:55. So this is the initial information, but the focus is on the rescue operation as of now. And as you rightly mentioned, more than 50 passengers are injured, and in fact, several passengers are feared trapped. But at this point in time, we are waiting for another bulletin, and also we are learning that state government has actually dispatched a number of teams, and ambulances are very much there, and the whole focus as of now from the government side and from the railway side is on the rescue operation. Those who are injured have been shifted to a nearby hospital. In fact, railways as of now is working on the rescue operation only.
Well, Mamata Bandyopadhyay has also tweeted, the West Bengal Chief Minister, saying, shocked to know that the Shalimar Coromandel Express carrying passengers from West Bengal collided with a goods train near Balasore today evening, and some of our outbound people have been seriously injured. We are coordinating with the Odisha government and Southeastern Railways for our people's sake. Our emergency control room has been activated with numbers, and she's put out the numbers too on her Twitter handle. All-out efforts for rescue, retrieval, aid and assistance have been initiated. We are sending 5 to 6 members team to the spot to cooperate with the Odisha government and railway authorities and to assist in rescue operations. I'm monitoring the situation continually, personally with the Chief Secretary and other senior officers. We are getting pictures and visuals coming through, hectic activity on ground. Kudos to the locals who have stepped up to help in large numbers along with the officials who are slowly reaching in. We saw a lot of the locals who had actually set up ladders to try and climb up the bogies that are derailed or overturned and try and help pull out passengers from within. Those are the visuals. Pictures coming in from the hospital where largely family and also locals are seen stepping up to help and try and move people towards where they can be given immediate attention. Akash, any word from the railway officials, from the authorities as to what could have transpired? Because there is confusion. Are these two passenger trains or is there a goods train also involved?
So, the first bulletin of Indian Railways, the official word that we have at this point in time, Anand, is clearly saying that these were two passenger trains. We don't know if any sort of collision happened or the second train got derailed just because another train going in the same direction got derailed initially, and after that, when that train went on to that particular spot, also got derailed. As I'm mentioning, it can be a case of signal overshooting, but there is no clarity on that. In fact, we are waiting for second bulletin from Indian Railways, but as of now, in first bulletin, it has been mentioned categorically that there are two trains involved. The first one is across the Coromandel Express, that is 12841, and it was going in up direction. And the second one is this Havra Superfast Express, which is 12864. Both of these trains are passenger trains. So clearly two passenger trains are involved. It is not yet clear as to if it was a collision or if it was a signal overshooting due to which this derailment has happened. But clearly, at this point in time, all the senior officers of Indian Railways, and not just Indian Railways, but also officers from several teams under state government, are basically moving towards the site. Some have reached and helpline numbers have been put out. In fact, there has been a request that we should, reflect these helpline numbers because several.
Well, let me read out. You've given the helpline numbers, Akash. I have got them with me. Let me just quickly read out the helpline numbers that we have at here, and we'll try and put it out at the earliest. But before I read out the numbers, and this is what the Odisha government is saying: an express train met with an accident near Bahanagar railway station in Balasore district. Teams have left for the spot for search and rescue operation. Collector Balasore has been directed to reach the spot to make all necessary arrangements and intimate the SRC if any additional help is required from the state level. Special Relief Commissioner's Office. Honorable Chief Minister Odisha has directed Minister Pramila Malik and Special Relief Commissioner to reach the accident site immediately. Minister and the SRC are heading towards the incident place. So this is the update coming. Let me quickly read out the numbers. Anybody who'd want to reach out, these are the numbers in West Bengal or in Howrah. The number is 033 263 38227. 033 263 227. Now the number in RGP is 8972073925. 8972073925 and 933239239. I repeat, 933239239. And there are other numbers including the Special Relief Commissioner's number, that is 810-9289-460 and 8340-649-469. These are the two numbers of the Special Relief Commissioner. The number of the Station House Master or the SHM, 990-3370-746. 990-3370-746. Going back to Akash for more. Akash, now Kamalika getting us and Rupashri Nanda also getting us more details. 47 injured persons have been received at the medical college in Balasore. 20 interns, 24 other docs have been moved from the medical college and the periphery and the DHH. NDRF first team of 22 members from Balasore has already reached the site. That's what Akash Sharma is getting us the details. Another team from the CTC of 32 members has started half an hour ago and they should also be reaching very, very soon. Now, Dhruva Jyoti Pramanik also getting us more details. At the same time, a DN Bangalore Howrah Superfast Express arrived in Bahanagar station as a few coaches of the Coromandel Express got derailed and capsized and occupied the down line. 12864 Bangalore Howrah Superfast Express rammed onto it and also got derailed. So that's how the derailment of Two super fast trains have been derailed. 132 people, now we are given to understand, have been injured and shifted to the Soro Civil Hospital, Gopalpur Civil Hospital and the Khandapada Hospital. So these are the three places, three hospitals where 132 injured people have now been shifted to. Akash with us. Akash, so that's why the first train gets derailed, bogie get onto the down line, the other train is passing from the down line, that also rams into it, that gets derailed. So this is how two super fast trains have derailed. We are given to understand that the Coromandel Express was actually flying at its top speed at about 130 kilometers per hour.
Exactly, and Anand, I was mentioning it earlier that it can be a case that just because the initial train got derailed, after that the train that was coming from behind, got derailed as well. 5 minutes is what the difference is total, but as of now, the whole focus of Indian Railways is onto the relief operation, and in fact, we are learning that 100 plus people are injured in this particular case, and 132 have been shifted to a nearby hospital. In fact, one NDRF team has reached the particular spot. In fact, two more teams are being dispatched, and as of now, the whole focus is on the relief operation. And in fact, helpline numbers have been put out. And also, Anand, it is important to mention that whenever such incident happens, so the protocol says that an inquiry team will reach on to the particular spot and will investigate the particular matter. So
the rescue operations are going to go through all night long. 132 people have been transferred to 3 big hospitals in the nearby districts. Rescue operation, NDRF team already there. The locals have pitched in to try and pull out as many people as possible, and a lot of them are already at the hospital receiving treatment. That's all we have time for in this edition of The Right Stand. Stay with us. Brass tacks up next.
प्रॉब्लम क्या है? साथ रहने में मुश्किल क्या है आप दोनों? तुम दोनों की जो लव मैरिज थी ना?
जी सर। 11 जून फूल के काशीदाकारी वाला क्या झकझकाट सफेद सूट पहन के आई थी। क्या लाल-पीला चल रहा है मिलोड? क्या लाल-पीला चल रहा है? अरे तुम दोनों तलाक लेने आए हो या बगीचे में लल्ला चप्पा करने?
तू चाहती क्या है सोम्या?
अपना घर।
और उस चक्कर में भले अपने को तलाक लेना पड़ जाए?
नकली तलाक लेने में तुम्हारी इतनी क्यों फट रही है?
यार तुझे तगड़ा किया, यार तुझे तगड़ा किया, प्यार तुझे तगड़ा किया।
ये कैसा मजाक है बेटा? तलाक?
नरक कर दिया इसने मेरी लाइफ। काहे तूने झगड़ा किया?
बनावटी जिंदगी जीते जीते थक गया हूँ मैं। इसके पीछे कोई बंदी तो नहीं?
ये सब इस पंजाबन का बोया हुआ पाप।
मेरा हाथ उड़ जाएगा। ये हमारे हाथ में है क्या?
पंडितों के घर में खड़े हो, यहीं मंदिर मार के थूक देंगे।
बेबी तुझे पाप लगेगा।
Good evening, hello and welcome to Brass Tacks. We continue to keep our focus on that major train accident that has been reported. This is the latest news which is coming in. There has been a major rail accident in Odisha where the Coromandel Express collided with a goods train. Now the information is that both were passenger trains and in fact one of the train got derailed. The bogies went onto a downline where another super power fast train was passing, and that's how these two trains got derailed. About 132 people have been injured. They've been taken to the nearby hospital. The teams of the SDRF, NDRF teams are on the spot right now carrying out the rescue and the relief operations. But in an accident like this, it's always the local people who are the first port of call, and you can see in these visuals, the local people in the vicinity have come forward trying to pull out as many people as possible. Right now, the number stands at 132. That's the number of people who've been injured. We also hear that the Coromandel Express was moving at a speed of over 130 kilometers per hour. My colleague Akash with us on the broadcast, getting us more details on that story. Akash, tell us what exactly is happening on the ground zero. Latest information.
Right, so as of now, the rescue work is going on, and in fact, we are learning that more than 132 people are injured and have been shifted to a nearby hospital. But as of now, the whole incident happened at around 7 p.m. today, and two passenger trains were involved in this particular incident. One is, of course, the Coromandel Express, and second one is Kookaburra Superfast Express. This was not a collision, but as far as the bulletin from Indian Railways is concerned, so it is clearly said that there was a difference of 5 minutes between both these derailments, and one train got derailed first, and after that, because of the track involvement and because the bogies were there on the track, the second train possibly got derailed as well. As of now, we are waiting for the second bulletin, but the traffic has been affected and several people are injured. In fact, many are feared trapped. and several teams of NDRF have been dispatched to the particular spot. DRM is also moving to the particular spot. This has happened in Odisha, where we are learning more than 132 people are injured as of now, Nisha.
Well, the control room number are on your screen. You can reach out to those numbers if there's a loved one, God forbid, who's been involved in this accident. As my colleague is pointing out, the first bulletin has been put out by the Indian Railways Communication Department. As and when the information trickles in, we'll continue putting out those confirmed details to you. But Akash, one thing is clear at this point in time, both were passenger train. The number of injured has gone up to about over 130. And unfortunately, the numbers are likely to rise. The Coromandel Express reportedly was at its top speed, about 130 kilometers per hour.
Yes, but this is a matter of investigation as well, because we don't know that what was the operational speed of that particular track.
Sure.
Because in Indian Railways, we have tracks where operational speed is more than 130 km per hour as well. But yes, it is a matter of investigation, because we have been told that Coromandel Express was running at 132 km per hour. At 7 p.m. around, it got derailed, and after that, another passenger train, which is Havra Superfast Express, that passed just 5 minutes before the particular train got derailed as well. So clearly, two passenger trains, initial inputs were in fact suggesting that this can be a side collision, but now sources within the Indian Railways are suggesting that this can be a case of signal overshooting, where a red signal or possibly a yellow signal is ignored by the loco pilot. It can be a case, but it's a matter of investigation as well. And some time from now, we're waiting for the second bulletin. We'll get to know as to what actually happened, and also about the ground condition as of now.
Well, Akash, as you rightly say, the incident has happened a couple of hours ago, and right now, to firmly ascertain what exactly the cause of accident is, would be premature. So as and when the railway puts out the technical details as to how this accident unfolded, thoughts and prayers for the family of everyone who's been involved in this unfortunate accident. We'll continue tracking the story. Now on to the big political story of the day. Rahul Gandhi, terming the Indian Union Muslim League a secular party, has indeed raised a political storm. Rahul Gandhi made the statement during his visit to the United States. As expected, the BJP has hit back, calling it politics of appeasement and vote bank. Well, it's fascinating and even perplexing at the same time that in a vast, diverse democratic India, which boasts of the world's longest written constitution, we have no definition of what the word secularism really means. Political parties tweak and create paradigms of secularism based on their political interests and narratives. The IUML is an Indian political party registered by the Election Commission of India, which has a significant presence in the state of Kerala. It's part of UDF in the state in alliance with the Congress party. The party has indeed pursued interests of the Muslim community. The party, for example, opposed co-education, homosexuality, supported triple talaq and Sharia law. Its ideological stand on key social issue has been a conservative one, to say the very least. It's a fact that Indian Union Muslim League is not the only political party which pursues a community-specific conservative agenda. But is it an overstretch to call it secular? Is the Congress party driven by politics of vote bank, or there is ample evidence to back the secular credentials of the IUML? Our focus on brass tacks tonight.
Welcome, sir.
Muslim League is a completely secular party. Right. There's nothing non-secular about Muslim League.
मुस्लिम लीग को धर्मनिरपेक्ष कहना ये मानसिकता ज्यादा खतरनाक है।
कभी हिंदू आतंकवाद कह के वोट बटोरना चाहती है। अब अमेठी में हार गए तो वायनाड में तो उनकी मजबूरी है। चाहे वो मुस्लिम लीग को सेकुलर ही कहें, लेकिन हिंदुओं को कम्युनल कहें।
वो मुस्लिम लीग है जिससे भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने नागपुर में गठबंधन किया था। ये वो मुस्लिम लीग है जिसको अटल जी पसंद करते थे।
So this kind of mindset of the Congress is an open statement of their vote bank politics, that a Muslim League for them is secular.
What does the word secular really mean? And a party can really give out handouts of who exactly is secular in this country? That's the moot debate question.
Joining us on the broadcast is Shehzad Poonawalla, the national spokesperson of the BJP. We also have Meeta Chakrabarti, the national spokesperson of the Congress Party. Mr. Ratan Sharda, who's an RSS researcher and author, is also joining us on the broadcast. Good evening to all of you. Meeta ji, let me come to you first, and why don't you open the debate for us? What are the grounds on which any political party or a Congress leader can term a political outfit secular? There has to be some kind of idealistic, value-based driven approach.
Okay, good evening to all your viewers and to the fellow panelists. I think the word secularism in our constitutional framework means a party that is equidistant from all religious groups, or that believes in inclusiveness, that believes in taking everybody along, and does not represent only one community, majority or minority. Now, BJP is obviously trying to give this a spin and comparing the Indian Union Muslim League, which is what Rahul Gandhi ji was talking about, and comparing that with Jinnah's Muslim League. Now, in this reference, I would like to show a particular photograph, if you can zoom in. This is a photograph of Jinnah with Shyama Prasad Mukherjee. I happen to come from the state of West Bengal. And this is the picture of Jinnah with Shyama Prasad Mukherjee. And in this particular case, we have seen as how in British-ruled India, Hindu Mahasabha and Muslim League were in alliance. They had formed governments in the states, in the provinces of Sindh and Bengal. Not only that, in 1942, both Hindu Mahasabha and Muslim League had opposed Gandhiji's Quit India movement. Now, that's about history. We did not have an alliance history with Muslim League, but Hindu Mahasabha did have, and Shyama Prasad Mukherjee, who was the president then of